Hi, Lindsay.
Hi.
I'm Devin. I'll be your nurse today.
Okay.
I'm going to be doing a musculoskeletal and neurological examination on you today.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to start out by feeling your pulses.
Okay.
So if I can feel your radial pulses. They're strong and equal bilaterally. I'm going to move up and feel your brachial. Okay, they are the same. Now I'm just going to check the strength of your hands, so if you'll just grip my hands for me and squeeze. Okay, and then if you could push against me and pull me towards you. Good. Now I'm going to check the range of motion. So if you could to flip your hands up, that's check the, and like push back, we'll check the flexion and then the extension. And then I'll have you with your fingers just straight out. We can do abduction, which is where we're going to spread them out, and then adduction, where we put them back in. Good. Next, you can flip your arms over. I'm just going to check your range of motion in your arms. So we're going to do your elbows. So this, what we're doing right now, is flexion, where we have them fully extended. And then if you'll bring them in towards you, well, that's extension. Touch your shoulders, good. And then if you just want to bring them back out, and we can, and just rotate your hands back and forth for me. That's your adduction and abduction, good. Did you feel any numbness, tingling, pain, anything? Okay, good deal. The next thing I would like to have you do is we're just going to check the rotation in your shoulders and the range of motion in your shoulders. So if you could just raise your hands above your head for me. Good. And then bring them back behind you. Good. That was your flexion and extension. And then I'll just have you, if you could bring your arms up like you're patting your back or scratching your neck. And then again, like you're feeling for your shoulder blades. Good. Any pain or anything there? Good. So next I'm going to kind of move down, look at your lower extremities. I'm looking just at the characteristics of your lower extremities, that they are the same shape, same color, that they're symmetrical, and from what I can tell they are. The same with your upper extremities. I see that your color is appropriate for your ethnicity. I don't notice any varicose veins or anything like that. Hair distribution, from what I can tell, looks equal bilaterally, so that's good. While we're down here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check the pulses in your lower extremities. So I'm going to start with your popliteal. These are back behind your knees. Okay. And then I'm going to move down to your posterior tibia, that are inside your ankles here. Good. And then the last one I'm going to check for is your dorsal pedius, which is right here on top of your feet. Good. And those are all strong and equal bilaterally, which is what we look for. So the next thing I'm going to have you do is we're going to test the range of motion in your lower extremities, just like we did your upper extremities. So if I could have you turn and lay down on the bed. Good. Okay. So we'll start with your hips. So if you could just lift one leg up in the air for me. Good. And then the other. Good. And then just bend one knee up and straighten that back out. That's checking your knees. The other one, please. Thank you. Okay. And then if you could roll onto your side for me.
Which one?
Just towards me is fine. And take your leg backwards, kind of, the opposite of, yeah, good. And then do the same with the other one if you can. I know it's kind of hard when you're laying down. Okay. And then last thing we'll check, just for you to lift your leg up to the side. Good. Perfect. And then I would have you do the same on the other side as well. You can go ahead and sit back up for me. Okay, so next I'm going to check the range of motion in your ankles. So if you could point them down for me, that's just flexing them, good, and then bringing them up and extending them, good. And then if you could tilt them in and out towards each other and away, perfect, perfect. And then with your feet, just your toes, if you could curl them under, flex them up, and then if you can, spread them out, good. Okay, go ahead and push down against my hands, good. And then pull up, perfect. Any pain, numbness, tingling, any of those areas, okay, good. So next I was already looking at your joints as I was going through your range of motion of your elbows, your knees, your ankles, all of that. So we're good there. I'm going to have you stand up though and do a deep knee bend for me. So just kind of like you're doing a squat, just kind of squat and just making sure your knee, okay, good. And then the next thing I'm going to have you do is check your spine. So I'm just going to have you stand back up for me. And you can just, you can just stay like that for me. And
bend over.
Yeah, bend over, reach for your toes. I'm just checking to feel the natural curvature of your spine. Making sure I don't feel or see any or notice any deformities or any scoliosis or kyphosis. Any pain anywhere?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you can stand back up for me. Okay. The next thing I'm going to have you do is, you've already bent forward for me, so if I could just have you like lean backwards, checking the curvature of your spine, good. Everything looked aligned and equal, so we're good there. The next thing I'm going to check is your gait, so if you could just come and stand right over here for me. And just take a few steps towards me and then walk back the other direction. Good. And then if you'll walk on your tiptoes. Okay. And then one last time on your heels. Good. And then you can go have a seat again. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to be checking is the Romberg test. So sorry, if I could have you stand back up just one more time. I'm going to have you stand with your feet together and your hands down at your sides. I'm just looking to see if you're swaying from side to side with your eyes open, and then now I'm going to have you close your eyes and see if you do any more with them closed. Okay, good. I didn't notice much swaying at all, so you can have a seat. The next thing I'm going to check is the Babinski reflex. So I'm just going to run this up the bottom of your foot and see what kind of response we get from your toes. Good. So in an adult, our toes should curl under, should curl, which yours did. And then in a baby, our toes will actually fan out and point up. So that's good there. All right. So then the next thing I'm going to do is called a rapid alternating motion test. So I'm just going to have you like slap your hands on your legs and then bring them up and like flip them and then pat them down again. So it's just like this. And it should all be one swift motion, and just do that as fast as you can for me. Perfect. The next one we're going to do is a finger to nose test. So I'm just going to hold my finger right here. I'm going to have you touch my finger and then touch your nose and just move it back and forth like that. So go ahead and touch my finger and then touch your nose. Perfect. And then the last thing I'm going to have you do, I'm going to hold, or not the last, but I'm going to have you hold your legs straight out for me if you can. And then with this one, I'm going to have you put your heel, starting at your knee, and rub it down your shin and back up. And then do it on the opposite leg. And it's a heel to shin test. Excellent. So then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to check for sensation. So if you just tell me when, if you can feel this. So I'm going to touch, and then I'll have you tell me if you feel 1 or 2. So I'm going to have you close your eyes.
2. Okay. 1.
Perfect. And then I'm going to do it in your hands, so if you'll hold out your hands for me. Close your eyes.
1. 2.
Perfect. The next place I'm going to check is in your legs. So just keep your eyes closed for me. The legs are sometimes harder because you have to do it in a bigger space. So
1.
Okay, so that's actually 2, but I put them so close together that it feels like 1. So go ahead and close them again.
2.
2. So whenever you put them wider apart, you can tell that it's 2. The last thing I'm going to do is do the same thing in your feet.
2. 2.
Good. So that's just making sure that you feel sensation the way you normally should in all of your extremities there. So then the last thing I am going to do is I would check your deep tendon reflexes. Now I don't have a hammer to check those with, but I can show you where I would check them with. So first right here in your arm, I would check your brachiodialis, and so you check it like right here, and we should look for a reaction in your wrist. And then there's the patella reflex, which is right here below your knee. That's the one that's most common. You should kick your leg out when it's hit. And then the last one is the axilla. So it's back here on the back of your heel, and that would flex your foot for me. Do you have any questions or concerns today?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.